Hello, this is Harold's Prog Rock Show part 83. I'm doing a ranking of the 15 best double studio prog rock albums. The double albums, studio albums. On number 15, it's maybe the first double disc of a prog rock album. It's the Beatles with the White Album. Um, Actually, I've had also to mention Jeff Wayne with War of the Worlds. That's of course also a great double album from 1978. Okay, we go to Arion, number 14 with The Source. It's a double album with lots of guest stars, very melodic, very good. The Dutch Arion, the Dutch Arjen Anthony Lucassen. He also did The Theory of Everything, also a double studio album with again lots of guest artists like Keith Emerson, Rick Wakeman, and Jordan Rudess. The Theory of Everything. Then another one from Arion, and this is The Dutchman with The Human Equation, also a double album with James Labrie, Michael Eckerveld, and on drums at Warby. Then we have his best double studio album, that's Into the Electric Castle from 1998. And again, lots of guest artists, very melodic, a very good progressive rock album from Dutchman Arjen Anthony Lucassen. Then we go to the 70s, Led Zeppelin with their double album Physical Graffiti. On this one we have the famous instrumental song Kashmir, also almost 15 minutes long. Very good on this album, this classic from Led Zeppelin. Then we go to Emerson, Lake and Palmer with Works Volume 1. On this one we have Pirates and Fanfare for the Common Man, also C'est la vie. On this album are also some songs which are not that interesting. Then we have Focus Free. Focus Free. On this one we have answers, questions, answers. Focus Free is with Thijs van Leer, Jan Akkerman, Pierre van der Linden and even kijken, Bert Ruiter, the Dutch band Focus with their album Free, a double album on vinyl and on CD. It's a single album. Then we go to a real classic, that's The Who with Tommy from 1969. And this is the journey from Tommy, the pinball wizard, the band with Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, John Entwistle and Keith Moon. A very good album, a real classic. The Who, Tommy. Then we go to Yes, Tales from Topographic Oceans, 1973, with Alan White, Chris Squire, John Anderson, Rick Wakeman and Steve Howe. Only 4 songs on this album, and the most famous song is the last one, which is Ritual. It's sometimes this album is also called Wishy Washy Tales from the Deep. Nobody knows what it's all about, the lyrics from John Anderson, but the music is great. Then we go to Spoxbird with Snow, their double album, and this is a real classic, very melodic, very powerful, highly recommended. Then we go to Dream Theater with 6 Degrees of Inner Turbulence. The first song, The Glass Prison, I don't like. It's far too loud. The rest of the songs are very melodic. And a great song is The Great Debate. I like it a lot. And Disappear is a very emotional song, a short song. And on the second disc we have, in fact, the title track, which is a long song from 45 minutes long. Okay, very nice. Dream Theater with James Labrie on vocals. Okay, then we go to my number 3. My number 3 is Pink Floyd with The Wall. And this is, of course, a real classic. Everyone interesting in prog rock knows this album, and it's a journey about the guy who has to make contact with the world, and he, in fact, first don't want that contact, but the judge decided to have contact with the world. So the penalty at the end of the trial was to tear down the wall. Interesting story. Then we go to my number two. My number two is The Who with Quadrophenia, and this is a great album. I really like it. I've listened a lot to this album, and it's a journey about a guy in the 60s who have lots of fights and try to survive in England. And the last three songs are very, very, very good. Dr. Jimmy, the instrumental The Rock with Keith Moon on drums, and the last song, Love Reign Over Me, which is a very emotional song with emotional vocals by Roger Daltrey. We have, of course, on guitar Pete Townsend, on bass John Entwistle, and on drums Keith Moon. Quadrophenia, The Who. And in this album there's also a booklet with lots of nice pictures in black and white. Then we go to my number one double album, prog rock album. That's, of course, Genesis with The Lamp Lies Down on Broadway. The journey from rail through New York, who tried to survive in the city of New York. 1974, a great album with the classic Genesis lineup: Peter Gabriel on vocals, Phil Collins on drums, Steve Hackett on guitar, Tony Banks on keyboards, and Mike Rutherford on bass. This is, in fact, the last studio album with Peter Gabriel on vocals. After this one, after the tour in 1975, he left Genesis to start a solo career. Okay, this was my show about the double albums, the prog rock albums. If you like it, give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and write something in the comments. Okay, thank you. Bye. See you next time.